Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the next episode of With Conviction, a story of hope, horror, and history. My name is Rain, my pronouns are she, her, and I am your GM for this adventure. With me are my slightly battered heroes for this campaign. Why don't you all introduce yourselves?
I'm Alice. I use she and they pronouns, and I play Desdemona Hartwood, who also uses she and they pronouns. And Des is a Roseheart Guardian and is a sort of gothy, punky, magical girl with a heart of pink and some brand new wings.
Hi, I'm Skyland. My pronouns are they and them, and I play Chris Whitlock, whose pronouns are she or any. Chris is our extremely sporty, feeling very powerful, magical not a girl who is our firebrand artillery.
And I'm Rob. My pronouns are he, him. I play Eliza, whose pronouns are she, her. Eliza is our stalwart soul warrior magical girl, and she is very fiery. She's not at all battered, but now that Rain has said that, she's thinking about eating something that's been deep fried in batter.
Are there deep fried pancakes? What am I asking? I'm the one who would know this. Yes, I think they're called Abel Skeever.
Mm.
The last time we had left you all, you had been ambushed in an open but very foggy field as you are delving through this horrible pocket dimension. And you had just decided to continue with your exploring. So, are you continuing in the direction of the uh, spire that you had seen?
I think so.
Yeah.
So, how are you all proceeding? Are you continuing in open order? Are you continuing still trying to be quiet? This fight doesn't seem to have attracted any attention yet.
I say we just go for it.
Yeah. I I think I think you're right. I think we go for it.
I don't think we should try to attract attention either, but no reason to just go.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, right into this forest.
You disappear into the fog again, pushing forward slowly and slowly, and eventually you get to a point where it looks at first, as you pass this tree, it looks, I won't say normal, uh, that would imply things about this forest that aren't true, but it's only until after you happen to pass by it you notice that it's half a tree. It looks like the tree has been sliced in half.
Vertically or horizontally?
From top to bottom, it looks like this tree, the part that was facing you, you didn't notice anything was wrong, but once you pass it, you can see that there's only half a tree there. And then you look around a bit and you see there are other trees along the exact same line. And you look at the ground, and the ground is just a bit off. The undulations in the ground seem to stop at the same point, and then different patterns in the ground continue ahead of you.
It's still foggy, right?
Yes.
Kind of looks like somebody
Cut reality?
ran out of rendering budget is what I was going to say, but your thing makes more sense.
And actually, now that you've asked about the fog, what you notice is that as the fog rolls up to this line from the end that you've come from, it stops like it's up against a glass wall, and the fog is still fairly heavy on the other side of this line, but there's no continuity there.
Eliza opens the pause menu and sets her render distance to far.
Yeah, my FOV is way too low.
Mm.
I'm gonna mess with that real quick. I think Des gets as close as she can to this line without like stepping over it. Does it change in how it looks at all?
Nope, it's just there.
Okay. Hmm.
Eliza's going to try picking up a rock or clump of dirt or something and tossing it over the line.
That's smarter. I was gonna touch it.
It falls.
Chris jumps over the line.
And you land
Where?
on the other side of the line.
And Chris sees.
The forest continuing ahead of them.
Oh,
It looks exactly the same as it did before you made that jump. You can see ahead of you. It continues to be forest. And nothing seems to happen when you cross the line.
but it interrupts the fog.
It interrupts the fog. It interrupts the trees. It interrupts the landscape.
Gotcha. Okay, so on the other side we can see better.
A little bit. The fog on this side seems to be somewhat lessened.
Okay.
GM, I would like some help deciding, does Chris jumping over that line work for one of her darkness shift triggers of either act without planning or taking rash action despite better advice?
I would take rash action.
Eliza just walks over it. She's kind of suspicious, but she hasn't put together what's going on yet.
You walk over it just fine.
All right. Oh, and she looks up at the spire, which presumably is visible in the distance.
I'm gonna say yes.
All right, well, let's keep at it.
Des?
Yeah.
And as you walk away from the line, Eliza, the call drops.
Eliza touches the headphone as if that's going to do something, and then reaches into the pocket in her skirt and tries to reconnect.
You don't appear to have any bars.
She grabs the cavalry saber off the loop in her skirt and opens another little about hand-sized window.
It takes a minute, but the bars do come back.
She reconnects to the call. Okay, we crossed a weird line and lost connection, but we're back now.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Yeah, nothing's happened yet.
Okay. You haven't seen anything near the portal?
Nope. It's all quiet here.
Well, that's good. Okay. We're continuing on.
You continue to walk, and eventually, the landscape ahead of you, you pass through a couple of open fields and some forest, and then the landscape ahead of you falls away into a gully. And you can hear a buzzing noise.
The same one that we came out of originally.
Is it the same one we came out of earlier?
It is exactly the same one. You can even see the damaged guns,
And the drone.
and you can hear the drone.
Did we just walk in a circle?
Oh, remember when we first got here and we could see like behind us from flying? Oh, it's like a portal situation. Keep an eye out for evil lesbian computers, okay?
Wait, what?
Nothing.
No.
Faith
I-
in your ears. What? What?
What do you mean portal situation? That's a portal to the other world.
No, but like we go one place and we just loop around and come back to the same thing. So this, I'm starting to figure something out. The two layers that I was in before, both of them were like inside and they just had walls. And this one, it's bigger, but it's not as big as it looked at first because we just crossed to the edge and then we came back to the other side.
It has its own kind of walls.
It's a TikTok movie loop.
Yeah, it's like a boomerang or whatever.
I don't have either of those apps, so I'm going to trust you.
While this conversation is happening, I would like somebody to make a notice check.
Not Eliza.
Don't think it should be Dez.
I was gonna say it shouldn't be Chris. Chris's
Uh-oh.
inspect. Chris's inspect is not for noticing. Chris's inspect is for looking at things that have already been noticed.
I will take finding patterns.
Oh, okay. Then I guess it will be Eliza. Oh, that's a 3 and 5 on the dice. Plus 2 is 10.
Eliza,
Mhm.
when you left here, there was a portal here.
Yeah.
That portal's gone.
Oh.
Eliza,
Mhm.
there are caissons here,
Caissons.
right behind the guns.
Huh. That's on the opposite side of the gully from us. So Eliza is just gonna flit over there on her jetpack, not landing near the caissons because she's suspicious of what she's gonna find. And then when she lands over there, her backpack folds up and her sword extinguishes.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because she knows what's in those, and she's gonna go check them out. And there are cannons, you say here. Do the cannons have their axles cut?
They do.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah, she's gonna just try opening up one of the caissons to see what's inside them.
There appears to be some charges of gunpowder, but the cannonballs are missing.
I found gunpowder. Hmm. The charges of gunpowder, I'm assuming they're in like canvas sacks.
Yeah.
Eliza tries gently turning one over to see if the gunpowder has because gunpowder is slightly corrosive. She's gonna check if it's eaten through the canvas at the bottom.
I think so, yes. You can also see that it's marked Confederate States of America, and it has eaten through the bag more than it should, more than you would expect. Basically, the entire backside of the bag is just gone.
It's old bad gunpowder.
Old bad gunpowder? Evil
Yeah.
gunpowder. Sinister, malcontent gunpowder. What makes it bad gunpowder?
Well, if we tried to explode it, it wouldn't go off. Probably.
Oh, okay. Well, wait. Probably.
I mean, I can't tell how old it is, but the stuff decays over time, so yeah.
I don't know how to feel about the gunpowder.
Well, the cannons say Confederate States of America, and the cannons are old, of course, so this is 160-year-old gunpowder?
Wait, right. GM, the cannons themselves, they seem like they're pretty old.
Yep.
Presumably they're bronze cannons, because iron would have rusted into scrap by now.
I mean, this is a wrong reality, so
True.
who knows how much, the twin power of darkness will just preserve stuff.
It does the opposite of that. Notice how everything that we killed was decaying instantly?
Yeah, but that was animate objects.
Anime objects, you say?
Damn it.
Alright. But anyway.
Hey, I'm still stuck on this whole reality loop thing.
I've got an idea. She's gonna step away from the possibly decayed gunpowder and then fly back over to the other two. Alright, so remember how we lost the signal when we crossed the line?
Yeah.
This isn't just a coming back to our origin point situation. It's tessellated like tile.
You're saying it's like the watch for rolling rocks thing from Super Mario.
Yeah, probably.
You go far enough and there's alternate universes attached.
Chris's face is squinched up in trying to remember geometry from elementary school and middle school. Tessellations were the same shape repeated over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, like tiles on a floor.
So, are you saying that this is multiple layers of the same stuff?
Multiple copies of the same the gully, the river, and the surroundings. I think that's what we're dealing with.
But there's gunpowder here, and there
Yeah.
wasn't in the last copy.
It seems like each one's going to be a little different, is my guess.
Okay, wait. Dez turns around and tries to step back over the line that we had stepped over already.
That would take you a little bit of a walk to get there.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna split up with the team. So
Yeah.
So we saw. This feels like a fun house. Like all the bendy mirrors. We saw reflections of ourselves, right?
Yeah.
So do we just have to walk across all of those? Or
I can't tell if the spire is actually any closer or not.
it sounds like it wouldn't be.
But I'm thinking if we go the same direction we went before, we're gonna have to fight that same fight, but except it might be a little different.
Chris's face is even more scrunched than it was in thinking. And she goes, I don't remember who it was. Somebody on the team does physics, and there was something about. Oh, God, I don't understand it. But basically, multiple realities existing at the same time, and if you observe the thing, it collapses into itself, and you get only one state. Uh, I don't know if that's helpful. It just seems relevant.
Maybe.
Okay, so maybe first step, let's backtrack and see what happens when we step back through where we came from. See if it just puts us right back where we had stepped through.
Eliza has an idea for that, but she's also going to bring the lid of one of the caissons with her.
Okay. So you all are heading back in the same direction you came from?
Sounds like.
All right. You head back. It's a little bit of a trip. You step over that line. There's nothing immediately obvious that changes. What do you do?
Eliza checks whether the caisson is still in, or the caisson lid is still in her hand.
It is.
So we can bring stuff with us.
I mean, we brought the drone with us.
Yeah, but the drone, we could hear the drone back at the second place.
When we step back through, does the call drop again?
It does not.
Because we've got two separate portals sending the signal through. All right. I don't know about you two, but my solution to all this weirdness is going to be brute force. We just keep heading until we reach the spire, or we conclude that the spire isn't getting any closer.
Yeah, why don't we pick Chris up again and let's just see about flying as quickly as possible across this place? See if we can get where we're going without much fuss.
That makes sense. Hey, Faith, Hazel, we're going to lose signal from you two in a bit,
Okay.
but once we set down, we'll call you again.
All right. Be safe.
All right, you two, love you. Wait, no, don't.
It's okay to say you love people to your friends.
I think she just didn't wasn't thinking and said it on accident.
A little bit.
Not that she doesn't mean it.
It's okay to say I love you to your friends.
She's like bright red.
Table talk. Skyland's idea is that the spire is a distance away, What if we went back to the real world and walked in the direction of that spire in the real world and cut open a new portal? Could we possibly skip some of these tiles?
I'd had that thought as well. That's why I just wanted to see about flying through a few of them to see what all changes, so we have a better idea, like if it's something that we can just push through, or if it's something that we need to go back to the real world and open the portal elsewhere.
I think that in the real world, the area where we can make the transit corresponds to one tile, and if we're outside that tile, it just won't make the transit at all. Like we can't cut a portal.
Well, I think that's something we'll have to test.
True.
But Skyland's ideas are unfortunately not the kind of thing Chris would come up with.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So I guess we're just flying straight there for now?
Yeah, I think we're flying for now.
Yeah, that makes sense
All
to
right.
me.
So the two of you are picking up Chris, yes?
Yes.
All right.
One of these days you're going to pick me up for something that's a date instead of a flight.
Which one of us are you talking to?
Yes.
Faith and Hazel can still hear at this point.
Des turns away slightly and goes, "Yes, sir."
Eliza, you hear Hazel go, "Tell Chris I said be nice to the newbie."
Chris, Hazel says to be nice to me.
Chris's mouth like opens and then closes because she tries to protest, and she turns to Des and then Eliza and back again. You do both understand that the flirting is mostly just for fun, and Jesse says it's my way of building friendships.
You know, we have specific action for that.
God damn
I was wondering.
I had to.
Yes, you did.
That was perfect. I was sitting here going, I wonder if anyone's going to crack wise about that.
Yeah, I thought of it and I was like, no, I'm okay. I'll hold off for now. So thank you, Rob.
I want you to know that I don't intentionally lay those things down. Apparently, I'm good at doing it by accident.
It works so well.
It does.
All right, and I think Eliza takes a moment to hesitate, and she says, "Mostly just for fun," and then leans in and gives a quick peck on Chris's cheek, and then they take off.
Chris flushes deeply,
Eliza's hand holding Chris is very warm.
and Chris is silent the entire flight.
So, you begin flying, and you continue to fly, and you see, yes, this is tessellating, this is repeating over and over again. But as you continue to fly, the spire and that horrible, horrible rend in the sky does, in fact, begin to get closer.
Hmm.
Do you do anything as you realize it's getting closer? Do you continue flying toward it?
Eliza would continue flying toward it.
Yeah, I think we can continue flying towards it. And I think Des would be like, so looks like it's working.
Yeah.
Okay. You get pretty close. You're pretty sure you're only within a tile or two of this thing before you see dots detach from the spire itself and move toward you.
On the ground now.
Whoa.
And down we head, I guess.
How quickly are you diving?
Chris drops again.
Oh boy. Okay. Eliza is actually looking for what part of the tile we're at because she wants to land in the gully.
It looks like you're over some wide fields.
Well, that's not as good, but okay. Down at first is more important.
Des pins her wings back enough that she can drop after Chris to make sure they land safely.
Yeah, Chris does the same acrobatics and adds a little loop-de-loop this time and still lands in a 3-point stance.
Eliza just takes a quick moment. How do you do that in heels?
As you're diving, you hear the crack of rifle fire again. 1, 2, 3.
Uh-oh.
And only one of them strikes home, and it pings off of Eliza's wing, and you take 2 stress.
Ooh.
Before you are able to get to the ground.
I think one of her thrusters is probably sputtering now.
Shit, you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Whew.
Can we see what's shooting at us?
It appears to be those dots that detached from the tower. They're still moving in your direction.
Get to the forest. Get to the forest. I'm presuming there's a nearby stand of trees or something.
Yes, it's not hard to see the tree line at this point. Everyone make me a sprint roll.
Oh boy.
Can I add endure or shield check to this?
Endure feels like it would be appropriate for longer range running.
Agreed.
Eliza gets a flat 8.
Would Chris be able to add place here?
Does Chris not have a skill specifically named Sprint?
Oh, I did take sprint.
Yeah.
We'll roll it a sprint then. That is a 9 on the dice plus 1 is 10.
Nice. And Des?
That is a 6 for Des.
Oh no.
The two of you are running, and you hear a surprise shout and a thump as Des trips on a hole in the dirt. What are you doing?
Can I use that 10? I don't know. I was going to say, is there a way that I can turn that into a mixed success for Chris in order to help bring Des up to a mixed success?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so Chris, hearing that, turns around on instinct, sprints back, and helps Des up, and helps cover her with a wing to get back to the tree line.
Awesome.
Indeed. And you can hear more rifle fire coming from above you, but this time it's not aimed. You begin to disappear into the fog. And yeah, I think that's worth courage. That is sufficiently heroic.
Alright.
Agreed.
Having reached the trees, Eliza is watching these dots in the sky, trying to ID what they are.
Make me an inspect roll.
Would you allow reading patterns to apply? Because that's all I've got for this.
Don't think so. Not for this one.
Okay. Well, I roll a 6, so no.
They're too far away to make out any distinct details.
What is it you're looking at, Eliza?
It's whatever was shooting at us. Something flying?
Let me see.
Yeah, she just takes Chris's hand and points it up into the sky at the thing.
Chris follows that line of sight. Can I roll inspect on that?
Absolutely, and you can get help from that if you want.
Oh, yes, please. Eliza's a friend?
I think we're friends. Don't think we're confidants yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's +2 and +1 for inspect. So a total of 3. Okay. So that's a 5 on the dice +3 is 8.
It's hard to make out details, but they appear to be some kind of humanoid shape with some kind of wings.
Shit, they've got wings.
This wasn't in my Civil War books.
Chris points just generally to their surroundings. This is wrong reality.
I know. Listen, if there are fires, then staying down in the trees is our best bet. That'll force them to come to us.
Speaking of, boss, any chance you can take some pot shots at them while they're trying to get to us?
Chris grins widely at the use of the nickname. As long as I can see him, sugar. And actually, with that, GM, can Chris see these enough to shoot at them?
It's gonna be a long distance shot, but yeah, you absolutely can.
Well, she's gonna try. Are they at a distance where she can get a read on them?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Chris's current light is 2. I'm assuming I'm rolling place again. Since this has to go a distance, she's going to use a softball instead of the volleyball because the softballs will go a little bit further. That is a 6 plus 4 is 10. She's taking that shot at whatever she can see, just trying to knock down some of the enemies before they get here.
Yep. One of them skims just a bit too low, and you are able to tag it and knock it out of the sky. As a matter of fact, it doesn't even hit the ground.
It's just exploded.
Disintegrates.
There's a hole in it, and then the body begins to fall apart.
One down.
Can you make those like shatter after you fling them? Get like a scattergun effect?
I have no idea.
Got an idea.
Hmm.
The GM is ominously rolling dice and making vague noises.
Please continue.
All right.
They are getting closer.
Dez is gonna try to also lift her shield up in their direction so that she's ready to attempt to stop any projectiles that come their way.
Go ahead and take another shot, Chris.
You want to try lighting this one on fire for me?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
She holds out a stone, and it doesn't seem like stones should be able to light on fire, but we'll see.
Eliza steps forward and looks at it, and then she just inhales and breathes out a puff of blue fire onto this thing.
Odd. That's cool.
I would say this should be a help action, except Chris is already rolling at +4, so there's no point.
Yeah, but you do get courage for that, because the best way to get courage
hell
from
yeah.
me is to do cool things.
There we go.
Alright. Yeah, so we are rolling at +4 with a fireball this time. And that is 5 plus 4 is 9.
Yes, that hits. One of these things seems to be injured, but it saw where that came from, and they're going to start shooting again.
And we have a shield covering us.
1, 2. Des, you can protect one person.
Okay,
Who are you protecting?
Chris.
Which means that Eliza takes 2 more stress.
Yeah.
I'm rolling for it, I assume.
No, I'm just giving you that one for free.
Oh, okay.
That one is for free, and more of these things are showing up.
We see a shot of just a bullet going into Eliza's side, and then sparks of purple fire run across her skin and seal the wound as she uses her ability of Endure to instead acquire 2 darkness.
It looks like after you disappeared into the fog, that shot that you took, they seem to have figured out where that came from, and they are delivering fusillades in your direction.
All right. Shoot and scoot. Let's go.
Scoot. Can we tell how many there currently are?
At least 12.
What? Oh, I thought there were 3. Why did I think there were 3?
Yeah, that's why I was asking. Hey guys, I think it might be time to leave.
You mean call it a day?
Uh, or get mobbed by lots of people. I mean, we can try it. I guess we always have a way to quickly get out, but
Each of us has been shot by a gun. I think let's. Mm, I really want to take these things down.
I don't know. Chris?
I think we make a considered retreat. Let's keep shooting, keep moving. But if we're moving, I can't take the time to really hit these things hard.
Look, either we stand and fight here, or we bug out back to the real world.
I vote bug out for now.
They're getting closer.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
getting ready to take shots again.
All right, and Eliza pulls the cavalry saber and cuts open a portal.
Does definitely leap through.
And you are all back in a normal looking gully with normal trees and normal leaves and normal water that does not move like a heartbeat.
And 3 separate portals, I'm assuming.
Yes, 2 of them are quite small.
Eliza takes the time to close all 3 of them.
Grab the drone.
The drone.
The drone. Yeah, okay, she goes through the first hole they opened, flies in and grabs the drone.
You hear an exclamation from Hazel on the other side of the phone, but realizes what's happening pretty quickly.
Yeah. Sorry, we forgot to reconnect. We got shot at. We're back. And Eliza comes back through and closes the last portal. Looks at the other 2.
What
Pancakes?
the hell?
What?
What?
There's a figure standing on the bank above you.
Oh no.
You recognize that voice. 2 of you have talked to him.
Gonna say.
Detective Becker is looking down at you with a flashlight.
Uh you ever
Excuse me,
hear of...
sir.
Go ahead.
Excuse me, sir. Are you into cosplay?
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Have you ever heard of anime?
I don't think either of us are into that. Are you? Because I don't know what that was, but
Get down here. Let's talk.
oh my god, are you bleeding? He steps down off of the bank, slides down pretty well controlled, and immediately steps forward to take a look at who took a gunshot, and it actually took stress from it.
I'm pretty sure Des did.
Eliza took a gunshot to her wing, which has a damaged wing but wouldn't be bleeding.
I think mine was also Desdemona's was also to her wing.
Chris has a bleeding less than it should leg wound from from the shot that she took that did not turn into conviction.
Okay, so he's gonna kneel down and look at that injury and just go, oh shit.
I'm
Okay.
fine.
You are bleeding, ma'am.
Don't call me ma'am.
You are bleeding.
I'm fine.
I have a first aid kit in the car if you need it.
We've got one. We don't need your help.
Okay. You want to run me through what's going on here?
Not particularly.
He stands back for a moment, frowns, turns off the flashlight so that you can actually all see, and crosses his arms. He's studying you.
Eliza's jetpack has not folded up.
Mm-hmm.
Des tries to spread her wings enough to kind of cover Chris and Eliza?
They can move. Okay.
So you have no idea at all what you've wandered into, right?
I'm gonna be honest. No. I have no idea what I'm looking at.
Do you know that classic film, The Matrix?
That hurts, kid.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, I'm trans and it's an allegory, so we all gotta know our history, okay?
So true.
Maybe I should watch that movie.
Okay, but you didn't have to. I'm not that old. Anyway, yes. I've seen it.
Do you want the easy answer or the real answer?
Oh. Oh, okay. I'm never not gonna say the real answer.
Eliza, open that portal.
Eliza pulls out the very stolen cavalry saber that he's probably looking for and turns to face away from him and just cuts the portal open.
What the fuck?
This is our job. And you can let us do it or not.
This is our chosen task. We are the Winged Warriors of Winchester. This is what we do.
He blinks at that a bit. No, yeah, that. Not gonna lie, that is an accurate name. Okay.
I don't think anybody wants to deal with the paperwork for this.
I don't know that there is paperwork for this.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
Okay.
Question. Are you on the case of that pawn shop that had its front melted a couple weeks ago?
I am. I get the feeling that this is related.
Simply put, we're the ones who stopped anything else from getting melted. We're the ones who are keeping this, and she points into the portal, from getting out here. So, you can either keep things quiet and not report any of this and let us keep doing our job, or you can be a problem.
He kind of places his head in one hand and.
Eliza closes the portal before anything comes through.
I'm gonna need some time to think on this.
Well, you seem to have our addresses, so you know where to find us when you have questions.
If I have any more questions for you, I'll let you. Yes?
Also, don't. Maybe this is obvious. Don't tell other people about this.
Or do, and be the reason that 3 college kids with a lot of potential end up in a lab. And leave the world to rot.
I don't think there's a lab for this. I need you to understand that I have such a problem with kids doing this. But, I mean,
You do realize we're all adults, right?
gestures at your outfits.
Chris raises him up just about like a foot on a stone pedestal.
Yeah, I was just getting to that. Also, earthbending. Okay, this gets weirder. But yes, on the other hand, you're. I have some thinking to do. Please excuse me. I hope you all have a good rest of your night.
Thanks.
And he departs. Very, very confused.
Chris sits down on the bench that she had made to lift up the detective.
So, us three, Hazel, Faith, Aiden, Jesse, and that guy.
Oh, the whole team knows. At least everybody in the house knows.
Yeah, okay.
Jesse took it well, at least. Who was that?
That was the cop who interviewed me.
And me.
No going back from that now, huh?
Nope.
Chris stands up and returns the earth to its former form.
Oh, pancakes?
Des had been sort of like frowning in thought. And the moment she hears the suggestion, she's like, yes, absolutely.
Eliza sets her phone down and then detransforms and picks it up and calls Faith and Hazel back and it's just, you two want to meet us at the diner?
Is the diner open?
Yeah, it's an all-night place. I'm just the breakfast shift.
I mean, I probably need to go home. And then Hazel chimes in. Yeah, I'll be there.
All right.
And I think that's a good place for us to wrap up for tonight.
I think so.
Okay.
However,
Mm-hmm.
I would like everyone to please leave for a moment.
She wants to record something on her own.
And to you, my audience, you and I see Detective Becker. He's sitting at his kitchen table, head in his hands. A small chandelier hangs low over the scene, yellow light spilling over his small notebook, a half-written report, and an abandoned pencil. His eyes run over the text again and again. His mind replays the scene in the gully, trying to figure out how to explain this without sounding like a madman. His thoughts are interrupted by the sound of a doorbell. He startles. It takes a moment for him to come back to the here and now before he answers the door. The man waiting for him is lean and stark. His face is narrow with sunken cheeks and eyes as blue as the sky. Detective Becker. Yes? The man's eyes give him a once-over. It seems like you've had an interesting night. Perhaps I can help. May I come in? I think we can talk here. If it suits you. I couldn't help but overhearing an interesting conversation at City Hall today. It seems like you've ruffled some feathers, Detective. What? It's all been smoothed over, I assure you. By the looks of it, your plate is full enough as it is. You wouldn't believe the half of it. You would be surprised. The man draws a business card from his breast pocket and offers it to Becker. The logo emblazoned thereon is a serpent coiled around the branches of a tree. I specialize in these sort of things, Detective. You are the sort of man who wants answers, I think. I can provide them. Would you prefer to continue this conversation away from prying ears? There's a moment. Then Becker steps aside. Come on in. Thank you, everyone, so much for listening. Thank you to my players. And I look forward to seeing you all next time. Have a good night.